Hey guys, Christian and Ethan coming at you live with another Ready Life video. So today we're going to be talking about airway emergencies. Something's lodged in the throat, someone's not breathing, we got issues, we need to address them. So anytime we do trauma training at Ready Life, we use the M.A.R.C.H acronym. We march to help those in need. M is going to be massive bleeding. First thing you're going to address, it could kill you the fastest. Next, the A is going to be airway, which is what we're working on today. So to address that, say you're sitting at the dinner table, your wife just whipped up some potatoes and she cooked them in tallow too, they're delicious. So you're just scarfing them down, but you get a little too eager. You got one jammed in the throat. What are you gonna do about it? Maybe time to do the Heimlich maneuver. And so with the Heimlich maneuver, invented by, of course, Mr. Heimlich, a saint in the medical trauma world, he developed this maneuver to save people who are choking, and it's pretty ingenious. So you come up to someone and they're choking. One of the first things you'll want to do is address whether they're actually choking completely or they maybe just have a little bit of a choke and it's not a life-threatening issue. Because to go and do this somewhat invasive thing to save someone if they're not really choking that bad can be a little much. And so you go up and check on the person. Hey, you all right? You know, the situation, you're in a kitchen, you may not need to check for massive bleeding like we do on a normal training. It may be pretty obvious what they're choking on. But sometimes the choking can be in a trauma situation. It can be blood or vomit or something like that. So that's where it can get a little bit more complicated on that, but we'll talk about how to address that in next level trainings. We're gonna do that, the common first ones first. So if you get to your patient, hey, you all right? And you can tell no breathing going on at all. That's when you're gonna want to apply the Heimlich maneuver as soon as possible. So generally taking your patient, checking to see if the thing that's lodged in their throat is right at the front of the throat. Because if it is, sometimes the hook and scoop may be the best way to get something out of the throat, especially with children, because sometimes it can just be lodged right at the beginning of the throat. You don't see that right there. You want to take your patient and then put your front right up against their back and grab your arms around them. And you want to take your hand right here, and you can either lock your thumb in over your hand, or you can just use this palm, this top of your hand right here. And you'll place that right above their breastbone, right there, and you'll reinforce it with this hand. And so the thrust is really important. You want to thrust in and up at the same time. The in is gonna go and make them be able to come forward and open up that throat, and the up is gonna help to get that projectile hopefully out. So in, up, in, up, in, up, in, up. And so that's basically the Heimlich maneuver. Continuing repeating that until what is in their throat is dislodged. And just a couple other little scenarios that may happen. You may have an obese or pregnant person to where you're gonna have to be more gentle on that stomach. So going higher for a pregnant woman or for someone that maybe has a little bit too much of a belly, so that you can get underneath that sternum right at that point is gonna be really important. And so next we'll actually go over to the infant choking. And like I alluded to earlier, sometimes the hook and scoop may be what works for a child or someone that has something lodged just at the front of their throat where you can go in and hook out hopefully. But if that's not gonna work and you need to do the Heimlich maneuver, you're going to take the baby, flip it over on its stomach right here, and get it even angled downward. That way you're gonna use gravity on your side. And for a baby, taking the palm of your hand and patting like that. Not going to bruise them or anything, but a good firm pat, you know, because this could save their life. And even being able to take the baby and tip that chin forward like that right there is gonna be a help also in that Heimlich maneuver to hopefully dislodge what's in there. So guys, that's the Heimlich maneuver on an adult and on a baby. And keep training so you can be ready for any emergencies. Always be ready, guys.